We're having a look through the papers for you this afternoon with Rhys Turner, who's taking part in the Smooth Side Challenge. Good to see you, Rhys.
Good to see you too.
And starting with the Daily Mail.
Yes, some of the headlines on the Daily Mail today. We've got the meltdown from Wall Street, and also a mention of the Bradford and Bingley being nationalised abroad. 5 more banks also being brought to their knees. So there's more information on that later down the line. It's got a dismay as Bush and his own side votes down the bailout. Now, George Bush has suffered a stunning blow last night as Congress sensationally rejected over $700 billion bailout plan that was aimed to bring the US back from the brink of financial collapse.
And I guess there's a lot of information, a lot of detail for the papers to analyse with all of this.
Exactly that. Well, what they're telling us here is that the Dow Jones closed last night at 777 points down. That's more than ever has occurred. September the 17th, 2001, if you remember that, when the market returned after 9/11 attacks. It beats that, hands down. Mr Bush has said that he's obviously deeply disappointed, and he's huddled with his advisors and appealed for congressional leaders to try and revive the deal, which they're trying to win the support of both parties.
At least we know what's going to be in the papers over the next few days as they continue to cover this and see what happens.
Exactly.
What else have you got for us today?
I've got another story here about Great Ormond Street. There was a fire, an explosion that was, they lead to believe that it was a gas canister. Scores of sick children, they said, have come out of Great Ormond Street, some of which have actually been anaesthetised for operations. 40 youngsters came out, 300 parents and also staff, but luckily no one was hurt, so I'm quite happy about that.
I mean, it's a bizarre story, isn't it? I mean, you say these people have already been anaesthetised, had their generals ready for
Just
an operation.
about to go in there, yeah.
And those parents with kids who've, you know, a worrying time anyway, and for this to happen as well must be dreadful.
A couple of firefighters haven't been seriously harmed, but they're in hospitals at the moment, just having it once over, but luckily no casualties.
I mean, at least it makes for great pictures with firefighters holding on to kids that they've rescued. I mean,
James here being carried out by the firefighters and his dad, bless him.
Oh, thank heavens it all went well.
Yeah, excellent there. I've gone on to the other paper, Daily Express. Again, the headlines mentioning the meltdown and the turmoil in America, 700 billion, like we mentioned, the loss and the rescue plan they're putting into place. Jennifer Aniston there, looking stunning in a bikini. I've got to mention her. She's heading up to 40 now, and they're just saying that she's still keeping in good shape, and I do definitely agree. She's looking very nice in her little green bikini there.
Wow. Yeah, that'll keep some of the papers flying off the shelves looking at that. What's on the inside pages?
There's a story, quite a strange story, about a shamed worker who's basically been led down the street with a board around his neck and his hands tied behind him. He's been sort of arrested by his own boss, and actually it's backfired on the boss and the 3 work colleagues that have put him through this, because unfortunately they're saying that it's an unlawful arrest, and alleged offences including false imprisonment, because they tied him down, put him on the floor and all sorts.
And where did that happen? Was that here in the UK or abroad?
Yeah, it was over here. It was only yesterday that it happened, but I mean, it's obviously something like you hear in the medieval times. All the wrongdoers were getting egged and, you know, rotten vegetables thrown at them, but that's obviously not the way we work these days. So,
no, it's sort of street justice, I guess, with all this. But mind you, if he had allegedly done anything wrong, I guess his work colleagues are going to be watching their behaviour.
I think they're making the most of the situation, definitely. I've got one more story for you.
Yeah, just quickly.
A bit of a funny story, should I say bunny story. Sorry about the pun for those who like rabbits.
Picture.
Yeah, there's a herring in the paper that's basically, as opposed to sticking to its usual diet of fish, he's gone along and picked up a black rabbit and had it in whole. He's drowned it in the river, flew over to the side and swallowed it all down in one. And, I mean, there's something you don't see every day.
Might put you off your breakfast. Rhys, great to see you. Thanks
Lovely
very much indeed.
Thank you very much.